Welcome to this special edition of Sports Point of View. Today, we will be reviewing or previewing the Super Bowl 60 along my dear friends, PLR from the Sports Cave and Ed Smith from Easy Sports Talk. Hi, guys. How are you? Thank you much for coming together and doing this Super Bowl 60 preview. It's just around the corner.
Miss Johanna, always a pleasure, especially when you bring brother PLR in. I haven't seen him in a bit, so it's all good. It's like I guess, the Three Musketeers back together again.
Well, we
Yes.
got that date circled that to smoke cigars and get it together when you make that donation that you make every year.
every year, every year. I'm gonna start writing that off on my taxes, man.
Joanna, you don't know, but Ed is one of the biggest donors of our March Madness pool every year.
After the first weekend
Nice.
too, I don't stretch it out. I'm just like, here, take my money now.
I'm not even ready for that. So I probably would be second to that if we're in that pool.
Look, she would win.
Yeah,
You know
of
how that
course,
goes, right? Yeah.
of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but I appreciate it. So, how excited are you guys for this Super Bowl on Sunday? We have the Seattle Seahawks, New England Patriots. For me, it was a surprise to see these two teams match up for the Super Bowl. I'll start off with you, Ed.
I am very excited, and it's almost like there's a new, just a new vibe going through the league. You got a couple teams that at the beginning of the year nobody probably expected Seattle, and I know nobody in their right mind figured New England would be here. Their schedule aided them a little bit. They brought in what I consider a great coach motivator, but you're thinking they're going to take baby steps, and here they got the number one or number two seed all the way to the doggone AFC Championship game. We even thought there might be a little slip there, but they got through that. I'm just we've had I did a podcast earlier this week, and over the last like 20 plus years, it's been either New England, then you went right into Kansas City, and you sprinkle another team or two. This is brand new for us. This is two teams that nobody expected to be in. I know Seattle was there a bunch of years ago with Russell and that old crew, but they're rejuvenated. I'm actually really excited for this game. I hope it's a good game. I hope it doesn't let us down. These particular games, especially the Super Bowl, has a tendency, because we get so much hype for 2 weeks and it turns out to be a flop. I think this one's actually going to be a really good game. Something might be decided in the last quarter of it, and I'm ready to go. And I got to tell you both, when I was playing, never put money on anything. And not, a few years ago, our show was recently, we got a sponsor that was in the betting forum. So they gave us a few dollars to play with, and it wet my whistle, PLR. And I don't do it crazily, but I put my little $10 parlays and I got a few of them going for this game. So either way, I'm hoping I come out happy. But I'm just, like I said, I'm hoping for a good game with a little extra coinage in the bank account by the time we're done.
Well, I hope for
Good
sure
luck
you
on
do win,
that,
because
Ed.
that means I hope you do win, because that means you'll put 2 or 3 teams in the March Madness.
Oh, of course.
No, I'm definitely looking forward to this game. I don't know, Joanna, because you're so much younger than us, but there used to be a time where they tried a 1-week bye for the Super Bowl. And I actually like that, to be honest with you. The 2 weeks is just so long, because at some point, there's only so much analysis you can do. I mean, I've heard for the last 10 days, basically, everyone break down the Super Bowl. And no one's gotten better. No one's gotten worse. No one, unless there's a major injury, no one has played. So the outlook is the same as it was last Monday. So you have a team like Ed said, an upstart team who surprised everyone in New England and was better than everyone thought. And then you have Seattle that, if we remember last year, they started putting it together then. And it just got better and better. And I'm actually happy for them, because everyone talks about bulletin board material. I know they got sick of hearing how great a play caller Shanahan is and how great McVay is. And I'm sure Seattle got tired of hearing that all year. And so good for them to finally to get back to this point and give us a rematch of a Super Bowl game where no one on the team was actually on the team.
Right. I do agree with you on that 2-week bye because I think it's just way too much time in between games, especially for the players when you go into a time where you're like you're in the playoffs and you're playing like every week or every so often and then you go on this break. Yes, you do have your trainings and so forth, but you know, I don't think it builds anticipation any much more. I don't like agree with you that, that the players aren't any worse or any better unless an injury happens. So you're just kind of putting off the inevitable a little bit more when you can just also just, let's just do this and wrap up this season. I can understand for some reasons of why they're doing it to, sponsorships or, have, the different events. But,
Can I speak
I
on
agree
that
with
real
you both.
quick?
Hmm.
As someone who went through it, I one we know it's all about the money. The NFL, they get an extra week.
Yes.
You get all the hype, you get everything, all the souvenirs. We know what the NFL is doing, and they're smart. They make money in this 2-week window. As a player who went through it, I remember we won the NFC Championship game. We fly back to Atlanta. I mean, everybody's on a cloud. I don't even remember. I remember, through the airport, back to my house. At the time I had the old school recorder, the answering machine, had to listen to all the messages, congratulations, everything like that. That first week, we stayed in Atlanta and we had light work. Coach was like, look, we're not putting the game plan in. We'll do some stuff. When we get down to Miami, that's going to be time to go to work. That week in Atlanta was the best week, one of the best weeks of my life. I didn't go anywhere, that I didn't pay for anything. My best friend Calvin, we went out, we shopped like you couldn't imagine. All this extra money. We had to get the new suits because you can't get off the plane with an old suit. You got to have suits for all the occasions. We had to go get all the camcorders, the cameras, everything. So we spent that week just getting ready, getting prepared to get down to Miami. Then we got down there and we were like, wait a minute, we still got another whole week to get to. And that's where the draw, that as a player, like from fandom, I'm like, come on, can we at least get to this game? As a player, that first week is absolute heaven. It's the second week where because you're on a routine. You've been playing football for the last 8, 19, 20, 21 weeks. If you count the preseason and everything like that, it's long. Then you get to that spot, if you get a bye, we had a bye that year. For the playoffs. That was cool. That was a break after 8, 7, 16. But that week between after we flew down to Atlanta or flew from Atlanta to Miami, that following week was one of the longest weeks of my entire life. And by the end of it, I was just like, can we please just get to the damn game? And we started to feel the same way. It was, and they try to entertain you. You got a media day. You got this. It was so long and drawn out. Media everywhere you went, asking the same questions. So yeah, I'm with you on week. But like I said, they're not going back ever to like, hey, we're gonna play the Super Bowl the week after the NFC, AFC championship. They're never gonna do it because that's just the way they, pattern things. But from that, I just want to get that perspective from a player's point. Like I said, by the time we got to it, it was just like we were like, God, this is just so long. So,
no, thank you for sharing that, Ed. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you talk about that second week, you could also get in a little bit of trouble that second week. You're down in Miami. Miami is Miami. So
South Beach.
So here's the thing. Everyone's giving previews. Great. Everyone's doing this great. I want to know an offbeat story where maybe someone broke. I mean, I don't know because that was Coach Reeves, I believe. I don't know if you guys had curfew or not, or someone.
We had curfew.
Or was it wild parties? Was it partying on site?
No.
Did someone rent a house? Like, give me
how they had it set up. We all had a master suite at the hotel we were at. We also had an additional suite, which I put my mom and dad up in that, and I had another room offered to my brother. He took that one. So I was in seclusion, but I was dating somebody at the time. I had her fly out. She lived in Cali. She flew out because wives and families were allowed. There was no normally during the season, nobody you could, if you got caught with somebody in your room, that was, but because it was family involved and stuff like that, she was able to stay with me. For me, it was business for me. I was every day, up until like Wednesday, I told my mom and dad, because, we got down there Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. By Wednesday, I said, look, playtime's over. It's time to go to work. I told my mom, dad, my brother, I will see you guys after the game on Sunday, after Sunday. And there was no more evening stuff for me. Every day after practice, I was back in my room. Even with my friend there, I was studying every night. I had media stuff I had to do during the day, practice. I was all business. And it was crazy, PLR, because when we got, the first thing they did, we flew in that Sunday, we get to the hotel, they tell us all, hey, this is your room, you got that, and here's your key. I'm like, wait a minute, what are these car keys? Every one of us had our own rental car out in the parking lot. So it was like, you talking about recipe for disaster, because normally you get in town and you might have a friend, somebody they can come pick you up, you go out to dinner, you get back to your hotel. You don't have transportation. We all had our own vehicles to go down to South Beach on a Sunday and a Monday and a Tuesday. And obviously some of us didn't take it as serious and found trouble that was out there to be found. But for me, it was all business. And, that's the way I approached it. Obviously, we had some different situations, stuff like that. But I would be so curious to know what, because you think about this, and I don't want to talk too much, but you think about this. This was back in 1999, January 99. You know how things have progressed since then, how much more fanfare, the media day, everything. We got social media, we got this, that. I remember a couple of days, long workout, and I set up after this long workout, get back to the hotel, and we had police escorts everywhere we went, separate entrances to get in the hotels. Get up to my room, I'm sitting in my room okay, and I'm trying to decompress. I'm like, okay, pattern the rest of that, I got to study. All of a sudden, there's a knock on my door. The door flies open. I'm like, whoa, somebody throws a bag in my room. I was like, whoa. I was like, that's not mine. A gift from Adidas. I was like, okay. All right. Hour later, knock on the door. Door flies open. Big bag. And I'm talking one of those monster bags, sweatsuits, watches, shoes. The stuff that was in there was there. Hey, I'm like, whoa, that's not my Nike want to give you a gift. So it was so.
Oh, wow.
It was unbelievable in terms of the fanfare and this. And you almost, if you're not careful, you can lose focus what you're down there for. For me, it was I knew I was a former minor league baseball player. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to play in the Super Bowl. So you know how serious I'm taking this stuff.
Yeah.
But like I said, and I can't imagine the difference between 27 years ago, what it is like now. These guys today have got to be so pampered in a good way, but oh my God, the distractions and everything that are involved, PLR, Joe, I can only imagine it's probably so easy for somebody to go find some trouble if they wanted to. Fortunately, I wasn't on the front pages back there in the day.
That is good news. Good to hear. So we're talking fanfare. We're talking about how everything has changed, over the years with NFL. So with that 2 week, bye, how are the nerves leading up to the Super Bowl? Because you said how nice that first week is. You also said, hey, you just want to get that second week and, through because it seems so long, but also the anticipation to the game in the buildup. Are the nerves any more, any less? Walk us through that.
Until, while you're practicing through the week, because once we got down there, it was business as usual. It was just that we were in enemy territory for a week, meaning we were on the road. We were, we had police escorts every day from our hotel to, and they shut the street down. We had police escort for our 4 or 5 buses to the Miami Hurricanes facility. We practiced where we practiced. We get there, and it was a normal day. It was install, it was this, it was that. We had our meetings, so that was normal. The nerves didn't hit me at least until the night before the Super Bowl. We had our last walkthrough on the field, the actual down there in Miami walkthrough, and we got it was like every blade of grass was cut to within a quarter of a centimeter. The paint was pristine. You're looking, and you're in the stadium. We're going to take our team picture, and you're looking around. And you're like, oh my God, probably the whole world is going to be watching us tomorrow. And that's when it kind of started to hit you. The real nerves, though, Joe, came when it was time to come out that tunnel, because all the pregame and everything's happening so fast, and all of a sudden we get to come out the tunnel, and that's when it's like you're like your legs are almost give out on you, because you can't believe and this is a first time experience. There are guys who played in several of those. There are guys who played in national championship games. I just one of those guys. I was a guy who, like I said, not too long ago, had been playing minor league baseball, and also now I'm in this situation. And I mean, it was great energy. I was nervous as hell, but it was, like I said, it was an experience of a lifetime that I always tell people, I wish everybody could feel the way I did coming out of that tunnel in whatever they do in their life. If it's a surgeon, your first solo, saving a life. If you're a lawyer, the first time you give it, whatever it is, everybody should have that feeling of just like, oh my God, I can't believe I just did that, or I'm about to do this. And that's kind of what it was like for me.
So I got a couple questions for you, but I don't want you to think about them too long, because I got a bunch of questions. So like either everything was within 5 words, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Who gave you the worst advice Super Bowl week?
Wow. I don't know if I took advice from anybody that was bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who gave you the best advice during Super Bowl week?
Probably my mom and my dad. Just stay out of trouble. Do your job.
Bill Belichick was not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Is that good, bad, indifferent, shocking?
It's ridiculous. Even if you don't like the man, you got to look at what he accomplished and what he did and six Super Bowl championships. Come on, you got to put a man there.
Word has it Robert Kraft is not in either. Thoughts on him?
Same thing. The man they've been to 10 of them, I think it is. How do you go to 10? As owner, how can you have Jerry Jones in and not Robert Kraft? I don't know how you can do that.
Do you believe in the legacy talk that they talk about the whole week? Like, if Sam Darnold wins, his legacy is this. If Sam Darnold loses, then he's back to being Sam Darnold. If New England wins, then they had an easy schedule. If New England loses, then they finally had something proved, and they proved it. How do you feel about those different situations?
Every team is on the path that they had to walk individually, as a group, but individually. I don't see any. Sam can win or lose. You can't take away what he's done. The Patriots, same thing. Like I said, every team, you had to beat who was on your schedule, and you had to get. They're the only 2 teams standing. That's all I can say.
Last question for me. The Cardinals finally hired a coach. He's the little brother of the guy that loses to the Bears now. So he's his little brother. But my question is, the Cardinals have had 11 playoff appearances in the history of the team, dating back to Chicago. What do you think, quickly, in 5 words or less, do you think it'll take for them to actually become an organization that can win, considering New England has been to 18 playoffs since 2000?
Get rid of Bidwell. Ownership. That's all I'm going to say.
That's a good answer. Oh gosh, I don't know how I can follow that.
It all starts at the top. I've been preaching it since we do that Believe in the Cardinals podcast. I don't care. You got that at the top. It all trickles down, and you've seen what it's been for years.
Yes, culture, definitely number one.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, who wins the Super Bowl? We have 2, great quarterbacks. unexpected Sam Darnold, replacing Geno. So give us your thoughts, Ed, on why each of these quarterbacks could and should win the Super Bowl, and then your win for Sunday.
Sam Darnold, to me, I mean, you know about the biggest disrespect in the world. The man went to the Jets. You saw what they did to him. They almost destroyed his career, and there have been several teams that have done that to several quarterbacks over the years. You know, we talk about he's a bust, he's a bust, he's a bust. He was just in a horrible organization. He took a route, he goes to Carolina, he goes out and learns some stuff in San Francisco, goes to Minnesota and wins 14 games, and all of a sudden now, he loses in the playoffs and he's trash again. Then he goes to Seattle. This man is balling. And I couldn't be happier for Sam Darnold just because of the road that he took. And it reminds me a lot about what I went through with minor league baseball and all that. This dude, man, has fought through all this mess and done it with class. And he deserves, I mean, win or lose, they need to rip up that little 3-year contract with options that they gave him and make him their franchise quarterback. Minnesota, you think you might want to rethink what you did last year with getting rid of, and taking that other young quarterback? Okay, yeah. As far as on the other side, with May, you know where I'm going with this PLR right off the bat. Where did he go? Where did he go to school? Unmute yourself real quick.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
He went to UNC.
Say that again one more time.
The University of Michael Jordan.
The University of North Carolina, North Kakalaki. You look over this shoulder right here, you can see some of that stuff. And I'm saying that like he personifies, in my opinion, what you want your young quarterback to be. He's humble. He goes out there, he just tries to do his job. He's got one of the best motivators as far as coaches. And then they team him up with a great offensive guy who's been there, left. Offensive coordinator. He came home. They've got the perfect situation. Even if he doesn't win this one, Drake May has a very bright future, barring injury and different things. We know we can have those sophomore and junior slumps and stuff like that. But I just think he's done everything the right way. Playoffs haven't been great for him, this particular batch right here. But like I said, this is all learning experience for him. You talking about, somebody said the other day, because the Patriots, I said Patriots are kind of ahead of schedule. And somebody corrected me like, well, you're not really ahead of schedule if you actually if you're on time. I'm like, well, nobody expected this. Nobody expected the Patriots, because they're going to play a different schedule next year, we know. But you got Mike Vrabel, you got a nice core. Defensively, they go out there and play. So I think they're going to be very viable candidates for the next bunch of years. If I'm not expecting, as far as the game itself, I think that Seattle defense they don't get enough credit. I mean, Legion of Boom be gone. This, whatever they call this new one, this doggone, I hit my button there. This group they have there now, oh my goodness. I rode them through some good time. Not in our league, Paul, because obviously I didn't win our league again this year, fantasy-wise, but I rode them in another couple leagues, and I'm telling you, they're going to get after it. They're going to, this second-year quarterback in May, they're going to show him some stuff that he has not seen. I'm guaranteeing you there's a wrinkle or two, because everybody saves something for these type of games. They're going to show him some stuff he hasn't seen before. He might look confused. Yeah, he might give him in this game. If Sam can play like good Sam, and hand the ball off, throw the ball 20 to 25 times, Jackson Smith out there doing his thing, Cooper Kupp, they've got all the tools to win this game. New England's going to, in my opinion, is going to have to play the perfect game. Seattle can make a mistake or two, overcome them, still win this one. In my opinion, Seattle has to be on point all the way through, because I just think the talent, what Seattle is playing with defensively and what they have offensively is just too much. But I'm hoping for a great game. I have a score in my mind. I think the spread point is 4. The spread is 4.5. I got a wacky score of like 20. I came up with the other 27-22, which covers the spread.
Okay.
It's going to be one of those. They went for two late. They didn't get it. So instead of 27-23, it's 27-22. We'll all be happy if you actually pick the Seattle with the points. But I'm hoping great game. These games get a little choppy because all the commercials, the stop, long halftime, the halftime show. So as long as everybody said, I think it's going to be a nervous start. I think both teams, not a lot of experience, it's going to be a nervous start. Little choppy punts, and then toward the end of the first half, everybody's going to get their feet under them. Hey, we're playing in the Super Bowl. Let's go. And I think Seattle takes off from there, and they win that game, like I said, with that score. But I think it's going to be. I don't see this as one of those classics, but I see this as one of those. If we look back 5 or 6 years from now, and these guys are rematching a time or two or something, we'll be like, yeah, that's where it all started.
Hey, brother, listen, we appreciate you hopping on, getting with the stories, because I never knew about the Nike bag and all that stuff. So
yeah, neither did I. We'll have to get together soon and get some more stories from you, Ed.
Real quick, just my because I got all that stuff, and my dad, God rest his soul, man, he was so happy because I had so much swag for him. I gave so much of that stuff to my dad because I had all. Yeah. And man, he loved. I mean, the watches, the shoe. So I look back on that, and those were gifts from heaven to give to Pop. And but yeah, it was funny. I said, you're in the room and somebody like knock, and door opens up like whoa, and all of a sudden somebody just threw a bag, and I'm like, that's not mine.
Funny. That's funny.
So yeah, they treated us like king. We had a good time.
That's wonderful.
And I want to thank you guys real quick. I want to thank you guys because you're both family to me. So anytime we all get together, and I'm going to see you when we get to March Madness, Joe and me will get out to lunch and stuff like that. But you guys never have to. All you got to do is say, Ed, it's like bat signal. Just put it up there, and I'm coming because I love you guys, man. Y'all my people.
Man, love you back, brother. Appreciate it. But you can't leave without telling everybody how to get a hold of you.
Oh, yes. Well, yeah. If you want to hit me up on Twitter and Instagram, the X and Instagram, and all this, at Ed Smith Speaks, and the website is edsmithspeaks.com, and you can follow everything as far as the show go to easysportstalkshow.com as well, and you catch up with all the things that Jay and I are doing. But yeah, everything is Ed Smith Speaks and Easy Sports Talk. And like I said, I appreciate you guys, man. Y'all the best.
Of course, bro. In parting, though, would you tell Jay something for me? Tell him, Lakers.
I will do that too. He's actually coming over tomorrow. I'm gonna make sure I tell him. So,
send him my greetings.
I'll do that. I might just tell him, hey Jay, I did a podcast with Joe and PLR. Go check out minute number 2808. So I might just say, just go to the end of that. Joe, PLR had a message for you real quick.
All right, bro. Good looking out. Thank you.
You got it, man. Thank you guys.
You. See you soon.
All right.
I wish someone would knock on my door and throw in some Nike stuff.
I know, right? Can is there a list that we can pick from so they can come over and knock on our doors and just throw stuff?
You ain't even got to knock. Just open the door and throw it in. But you know what, though?
Well, I keep my door locked, so.
But I am from Chicago. If you just open that door, that might not be a good thing.
Someone's gonna get knocked out or something else.
Let's keep. I'll just leave it at that.
We'll keep it PG family show here. Exactly. Well, we're entering our second half of the show here, and next up we have Russell Davis joining the show to continue talking Super Bowl 60. And hi, Russell. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
I only see in black.
Oh, okay. See, he didn't warn me that I had to. I gotta go where I can be seen. I just realized that. I'm like, he always does this.
So let me tell you, this is my brother here.
Don't believe everything he says.
So when he said he's referring to me. But you know what? I'm going to add to the introduction, Super Bowl champ, Russell Davis. with the
Yes.
Giants.
Father. Hold on, give me a second here. I'm gonna get some light since I gotta. Since
You,
here you go. That better?
there
Good.
you
There
go.
we go. We can see your lovely features now.
Okay, you
Wonderful.
see what's behind
And
me, right?
what better place with the yes, with the jersey 99. Awesome. Well,
It's
how
champion
are
jersey.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you for joining us here on this special edition of the Super Bowl 60 preview. And we are just, talking it up here with football, and we are just a few days away. What are you looking forward to most, on from Sunday, and being that you've experienced that yourself? What comes back as memories as for you as well?
It's funny because I talk with Paul all the time about this, and being a dad, you kind of lose track that you used to be cool at one point. So when I'm watching the Super Bowl, I'm really just looking forward to like just watching the game and being around some friends and hanging out. But when I played, it was probably the most nerve wracking like few days leading up to it, because it's not even about football because you're used to that. It's the family members. It's everybody wants tickets and last minute things, and you're just there's so much coming at you. You're just like, God, I just want to go play football and get away from all this.
Now, let me ask you. I'm not sure. When you played, they still had the 2 week bye, correct? How did
I think
how
so.
did you kill? Like I know football players because Ed, we just spoke to Ed. And he was talking about routine. Your
Mhm.
routine is playing every week. Now your routine is broken. You get a week, then you get the weekend, then you get a week of just hype, practicing in another city. Everything is out of whack. Times are different. Everything's
Yeah.
different. How do you keep that rhythm? How do you find that rhythm?
You stay with your team. Everything that you do, you try to keep it as normal as and routine based as you can, even though everything is flipped upside down. Like I said, you have family, you have tickets, you have so much to worry about that. The more you can get back into practice and film study and being around the coaches, it gets you in the mindset of, okay, this is what's going on. And it kind of blocks all the extra stuff that's going on out of your mind. And you just try to use that to talk to the coaches. You try to get extra film in, even do a little extra workouts. You try to just make it as normal as you can in a very uncertain time, I guess. When I say uncertain, I mean you know what's coming, but it's just my thing was the family. I had my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, my kids, my wife, and it was just people. That was the biggest thing for me, that I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait until this game is over.
I know
And
you guys played the Patriots. I'm sorry, Jay. I know you
no, go
guys
ahead.
played the Patriots. Was there any like, oh man, we're playing the Patriots. Oh, it's just another team. Or forget them Patriots. Let's go out here and handle our business.
Well, we had a little beef though, because we had lost earlier in the season to them during their whole run when they were going for perfection. We played them as the Giants, and we lost in New York. But we realized, like, yeah, that team wasn't as good as we thought they were. They're not some magical superheroes. Like, we can beat them, and that was the thing going into the playoffs. If we see them again, we can beat them. So when we knew we were playing the Patriots, there was no like magic aura or like, oh my God, we're playing the Patriots. We already knew that we kind of gave that game away in the last few seconds. So this was an opportunity for us to go out and to prove to the world what we already knew. And I know that's kind of a cliche, but when we had played them at the end of the season, we were so close to winning that we just said, as the Giants, we were like, we can get these guys. If we see them again, we're going to beat them.
And what's the mentality? You mentioned distractions and just staying focused, but is there anything more that you how you prepare yourself mentally leading up to the game, especially with that 2 week stretch that you have in those nerves?
I think sometimes the outside people think that there's so much more that goes on to football. We It's easy for us to lock in and do what we need to do. When you've been playing this sport and this game as long as most of us have since we were little guys, you learn how to deal with everything that they throw at you. So even though there's a ton of things leading up to the game, you're not it's not out of control. It sounds like a lot, but it's something that you compartmentalize. Okay, during this time I have practice, I have film study, I have the okay, this is my allotted time for my family. And most guys, this is they're veterans, so their families are veterans, and when your family's already been through it, they understand how it goes. So it's not as I guess complex as people like to make it. It's the guys just get tired of answering the same questions about the Super Bowl. What do you think about the Super Bowl? What is about this? And it's like it's really not that bad. It's just the forgive me because I know this is you guys' profession. It's just the oversaturation of like questions and reporters, and you're like, oh my god, I just want this to be over and go play football. So you're kind of the bad guys.
You kind of feel like
So
almost
we've
like
heard.
Marshawn Lynch felt. Like, I'm
You
just
said
here so I
what?
don't get fined. I says it's almost that feeling that Marshawn Lynch had, like, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
I mean, I wasn't some star player, but I could imagine if you're a Drake May and you're just being pulled in so many directions. Like, here, we need you to talk for this. We need you to go here. And you just like, at the end of the day, you're just a football player, and that's what you want to go out there and do. And it's all the extra busy work that really just makes it a little more stressful than it needs to be.
And walk us through, you there's anticipation, you like you mentioned there, you getting through the game, and then, whether it's a win or a loss. How does those final seconds in the game feel, as they're playing out and everything comes to an end?
Well, it's obvious it's a big difference between those when time is winding down and you're winning versus when you're losing. Because
Mhm.
when we were up against the Patriots, it was just like, we're gonna do this. We knew we could do it, but it's really about to happen. And you're every little play, you're like, oh, don't let him complete that. Because there was a stretch there at the end of the game where Brady missed oh my God, missed Moss going down the sideline because of the pressure on the because of the pressure that the line was putting on him. So if you're the team that's up, you're anticipating and you're excited. You like just don't mess up. We got this. Like don't mess up. But if you're losing, you're like you've played all year long and you put in all this and you've sacrificed so much and you've had this long season and it's kicking your butt. And then to lose that last game, it just carries over with you. I mean, I haven't had to experience it, so I could only imagine like what that means when you lose. Like you spent all this time and you put all this dedication in and you made it to the final chapter and you lose. And I mean, you got to sit with that all off season. That's got to be something that just has to weigh at you and gnaw at you in the upcoming season.
How, considering that you guys beat the Patriots, won the Super Bowl, elation, everything's good. At that point, that offseason, did you feel that, hey, we're getting back here? We're getting back here. We're gonna do this again. Or I know every season is different. Every season is every
Yeah.
season. But did you have any thoughts that summer of, yeah, we did this. We're about to do this again?
For me, it was a little different because I was kind of long in the tooth at that point. I was 9 years in. So for me, win or lose, I think that was going to call it quits. But I mean, I think in today's free agency and how sports are, it's hard for teams to repeat because you get these guys, you have a team, and you get there, and then all of a sudden people come along and they start poaching them like, hey, you are on this team. I want to pay you a ton of money because you bring value to my team. So I think when you make it to a Super Bowl, you need to enjoy it because you don't know when you'll be back. It's not like, oh, well, we got this team and this team is going to be together for the next 3 years, 4 years. You may have an entirely different team next year. That's just like, I know you're rocking your orange and everything, and your team next year may be a totally different team. The success y'all had this year can only be topped by going further. So it's just tough. And you got guys that are going to need to get paid. You got guys that are gonna like want to test free agency. So you try to keep that team together, but it's the now for I think most players. Like, let's win now. And, excuse me. And when the offseason comes, we'll deal with that. But there's no guarantee that we're gonna be back together. So, I always admire those teams that can do it and do it at a high level for a long period of time.
Can you share one of your favorite or best memories you have from being in the Super Bowl?
Ooh.
Let me get my popcorn for this
No,
because
no, 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 no.
I'm
I'm gonna keep.
I'm
I'm
ready.
gonna. Yeah, no. We whatever. You know better, man. We talk about that. I tell you off camera stuff that you know. Um, gosh, what were some? I think one of the greatest things for me was having so much of my family there, and for my family really being a part of such a great experience. You know, it's something that you hear about, and you hear, oh my God, they went to the Super Bowl. You see these kids out on the field kissing the trophy, and my family was able to do that. And so for me, that is probably one of the most wholesome stories that I can tell because I remember coming after we won. I remember going to the sideline and my wife was in the stands and they're in the family section. And I don't know how many salty senorita margaritas she had, but she was feeling really good. She wasn't feeling any pain. And she's like, whoa, we won the Super Bowl. I'm like, yeah, we won. And I got to get the kids and take them out on the field and they experience like that entire everything that you will see when the teams win. You see the kids out there. For most of those guys, that's the stuff that's going to carry over because you're like, I was able to take my kids out there. They got to see the trophy. They experienced something that's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
That's
In saying that though, as a family, it has to be rewarding as a player because they're the ones that put up with your bad mood after a loss. They're the ones
Yes,
who put
they
up
do.
with your mood swings when you win. They're the ones, if you have, your wife, she's the one that has to study with the kids because you're at facilities later. So
Hmm.
it has to be for you rewarding to pay it off. And not saying that like, it's a deserving thing, but to pay
Oh no,
off
they
all that
deserve it. They
work,
deserve it.
all that extra stuff they had to do to allow you the time needed to get to this point. So that has to be rewarding in so many ways.
Oh, it is. I mean, like I said, my wife went there and they experienced the highs and the lows with you. I mean, your family is like your backbone when it comes to this sport because there's so much criticism. They got coaches, you got fans, you got social media. So to be able to come home and to be able to decompress and turn that all off and to even vent sometimes because I know my wife has heard some things and I'm like, these no good beeps and I've laid into her, not into her, but just you letting it out and they take all this and they're there for you. So to be able to share in one of the best sporting events ever with your family and you have your mother, your in-laws, you have cousins, family, it's just such a something that people still talk about to this day. They're like, Russ, I remember that Super Bowl and seeing that ring and seeing that trophy and just the experience. And it's like something that people will talk about forever. I still talk about it. I mean, I get chills talking about it even now.
And now we're just a few days away from the big game, Super Bowl 60. Wh- What do you see out of these two quarterbacks that they have gotten to this point, and what could get them each a win? And then also give us your pick.
Okay, so I am a defensive guy, so I'm always going to go with defense. And I think they both have pretty good defenses, but anytime that you can run the ball and run it effectively in this modern game of passing, I think that's always going to give you the edge. I mean, we go back to when they should have handed the ball off to Marshawn Lynch and they chose otherwise. So I think Seattle has learned from that mistake, and I think you're going to see a heavy dose of run. And I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks. I don't really give a damn about the Patriots. I'm New York guy. We beat them, so there's this like ongoing beef that you just carry with you. And I do want to root for Drake because he's a Carolina guy, but I don't have any love for the Patriots, so I'm going Seahawks. Matter of fact, hold on, let me. Where is it? Yeah,
It's
yeah, we're
probably in
going
his
Seahawks, baby.
other room.
We're going
There you
Seahawks all the
Oh, look
way.
at that.
Seahawks.
He is ready.
go.
Yeah.
Look, he had to go to his other room. You
Oh,
know,
that
we,
was in the basement. Stop it, man.
you know,
Stop that.
I'm sitting in the closet. You got books and all that behind you. I got some
Ah.
blinds. So I'm in the little. I'm sitting in the equivalent of the kids' table at Thanksgiving.
Oh no, you haven't sat there in years. Stop that.
So I got to rapid fire you these 5 words or less. for the answer.
Hold on now. You're breaking up 5 words or less. What'd you say?
5 words or less for the answer. I'm going to rapid fire you this. Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Famer.
And I gotta keep it to 5 words.
5 words.
Dating a young girl. I think he's being punished for that. I think because people don't like it. I don't know. I can't do it in 5, bro. That's tough, man. I think it was a snub. I think that he definitely should have been a first ballot. I think there's some personal stuff going on there that they wanted to make him suffer a little bit. So I know that's
Eli,
more than 5, but
that's okay. Your quarterback, Eli, still not in. This will be the third time next year. Thoughts?
Eli not being in. It does. I think it does bother me because he has the 2 Super Bowls, and for him not to be there, I feel like he has gotten snubbed. I mean, 2 Super Bowls. You beating the Patriots. He's had a good career. I think you have. I feel like there are people in the Hall of Fame now that didn't do as much as he did. So yeah, I think it's about time that he gets in the Super Bowl, or excuse me, the Hall of
Robert
Fame.
Robert Kraft not in, and Jerry Jones is still in.
To be honest with you, and I know you're not gonna want to hear this, I don't really give a damn about them. I don't care about owners not getting. I'm sorry. I don't. The owners just. I don't care about the owners. I just, a bunch of rich billionaires. Like you put together a team. It's like playing video games, and because you put together a great team. I mean, so what? You didn't play. You're not out there blood, sweat, and tears. So, I just owners getting in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, whatever. I don't care.
And then another one.
I'm
I know it's
sorry.
not Super Bowl related. That's cool. I know it's not Super Bowl related. The Cardinals are on yet another coach. The Cardinals, and I have to point this out, have made that's by the way, Russ played for the Cardinals, just so I get
No,
that
man,
out too. That's why
I know how you feel about the Cardinals
well,
off record. So
but, here, but here's my point. 11 playoff appearances, and they've been a football team, one of only two charter football teams in the NFL that's still in the league, also with these guys. So, but
here we
and
go.
since they chartered the league, 11, 11 playoff appearances total. For example, and I know you don't like the Patriots, but 18 playoff appearances since 2000. Will the Cardinals ever get it together to be a substantial team where they can, I don't want to say every year, but consistently at least make a playoff appearance?
Will they? You're asking, will they ever? Yeah, I think
Do
they
you think,
will. It's
Cameron?
just, but how do you get there, Paul? You're not gonna dump this on me. You got to help. I need help with this. I think everybody listening wants to know the same thing. It's like a bad relationship. Every year you're like, yeah, we're gonna do it. I feel like a
Yes.
Cowboys fan rooting for the Cardinals. Like every
No, I
year, this is
agree.
our year. We're going to get it turned around. Now, Kyler Murray's done. So now we need a quarterback. It took us forever to get a coach. Like, you got, God, it's a bad
It's hard.
relationship, man. It's
It's
stressful,
hard,
brother.
man.
Very
I want
toxic.
to see us do well. It is. I feel like it's a toxic relationship. Like, you should leave, but you just keep coming back. Cowboys, Raiders,
And for the fans,
Browns.
it's even worse. I have to add that. As a fan, it's even worse.
Okay, then I got one last question. I lied. Who wins the Super Bowl first, the Browns or the Cardinals?
Cardinals, man. I'm going with my heart. I'm not even going to use my brain. I'm going all heart. I just listen. The Browns are, oh God, they are just a dumpster fire. I'm sorry. It's just they can't get stuff right. They get people in there. I mean, they destroy quarterbacks. It's Browns are, yeah, they're a dumpster fire. I'm sorry.
You said you
Obviously,
said
I'm not a Browns fan.
you said that like that movie. That they can't get right.
Yeah, can you? Oh, you better be careful. Can you say that anymore? Can't
Yeah,
get
you know
right.
what? DM me, can't get right. I said it. You know me. I
Out
walk
of
into the
daddy,
punch.
out of
All
pappy.
right, I walk into the punch. I'm sorry, Jay. All you.
God. I don't have any words after that. I cannot follow. Come on. That was
Yo,
too
It's
good.
tough though. Like y'all are the professionals. Like, listen, you have more football knowledge than I do when it comes to like stats and who did what. Are the Cardinals ever going to get over that hump? I mean, I'm asking the professionals now. I'm posing you a question.
I,
For my
you know,
answer,
I defer to Johanna first.
okay, for
Okay.
my answer, and this just comes a little piggybacking off of the conversation we're having with Ed Smith prior to you joining us, Russell. The culture has to change, number one. Ownership, I think, has something to do with it. Front office, obviously, it seems to be somewhat of an issue there. Getting the right coach. We had one amazing coach who took the Cardinals to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, that loss was, I won't even go there. Which is, gut wrenching.
No, I see. Yes, a toxic
But there's
relationship.
potential.
Yeah.
Have the even that, like, the culture has to align from the top down, from
Yes.
your owner to your players.
Yeah.
Take the Phoenix Suns for example. We have that situation there as well. But that's my answer. Will they ever get there? I don't see that happening anytime soon unless they can get something of the likes when Fitzgerald and Kurt Warner and Bruce Arians, when we had that mix and we can find something close or compatible to that, then yes, but not, I don't see that happening in the next 2 to 3 years.
Listen, if the Bears can do it, we can do it too.
Well, and you know what? I was gonna say it because also Russ. Hey, who drafted you again, Russ?
The Chicago Bears.
All right, I just want.
Hey, you want me to show that jersey off for you too? Hold on, go ahead and
Uh-oh.
talk.
Yes,
Yeah,
do
I
it.
know.
Do it.
He just wants to see the jersey. Taking him up a tour, taking him on a tour of the house.
Oh,
There
look
you
at
go.
that.
There's in Chicago. Yeah, see
I was
Cardinals
about to
too. I got
steal
the
that from
Cardinals.
you. Cardinals. I
As
like
we
that one
know,
No,
better.
he can't.
trees
No,
don't
yeah,
grow.
right. If I see him in my neighborhood, he's done.
But trees don't grow from the leaves down. We know that. So
Right.
Uh-oh, you're cutting off.
Are we losing? Got to get off that kids
I think
table.
the Bears managed to get on the good foot because the owner got out the way and allowed the GM and the coach to do their thing. I think the Cardinals, if Bidwell ever gets out the way and hires the right GM and coach, then you can progress in spite of him. But as long as he consistently has a hand in it, then I don't think they're gonna get right. Because when you look at teams and holes they have to fill, you mentioned Kyler, and I'll go quick because I know we're up against the clock. They don't just need a quarterback. Yes, they have receivers. They have no running game. And you could throw the ball all over the field the first week, 2, 3, whatever. But if you can't slow down and run and defend the run, it doesn't matter. So you got to have a play action. You got to have these things. There are times where if you're playing, I'll use Patrick Mahomes as an example. You don't want to throw the ball all over the yard. You want to run and keep him off the field. And I just don't think the Cardinals have ever devised a good enough plan, GM down consistently without having a year here, a year there, a year here, where they can consistently do that. Now, I know that football is different than basketball. In that basketball, you get the same schedule every year. If you're in a certain conference, you know how many games you're going to play the same teams. In football, you have division winner schedule, division loser schedule. We know that there's a difference, but we also see teams like Casey and whatever manage to still win Baltimore.
He's got to get away from that kids table.
Yep. He's coming back.
Yeah, he'll be back. We get to make fun of him while he's gone, though.
Are you there, PLR? Oh
The kids are
no.
probably playing video games.
They cut off his internet.
Oh,
He's been playing
yeah.
at that kid's table for too long.
He's frozen. Yeah. So,
Yeah, he's frozen. So while he works on getting back to us, you and I
yeah.
hang, Russell.
The right.
So
Uh-oh.
hold on. Here he is. I heard some
Hey.
some
There we
words.
go. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
So no, I was just saying that if you don't have that consistency, you got to find it somewhere, and that's what worries me about the Cardinals more than anything. They haven't been able to find that consistency, almost in spite of their owner. And so I think that's what's really holding them back. But also, you know something? It's been a long time since the Cardinals have had a star. Every team has a star player that you can gravitate to. Even if the team is bad, there's a star there. And we can say what we want
Miles
about that.
Garrett. Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett. They're
Mm,
still a
mhm.
star. The Cardinals don't have any gravitational players.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is they don't know how to market towards making a player one of those players. And I think a lot of it just goes into it. So time is too short for me to give all my opinions, but living in the city, I would like to see them do well.
Yes.
It's just they find ways to they can't get right.
It's just the easiest way to put it, huh?
Uh, I just hope they do sooner rather than later because it's just horrible being a Cardinals fan, and year after year seeing them the way that they've been playing. So, but I will say this that I am excited that we no longer have a certain quarterback. So, and entering a new era for all, from coach to quarterback, because that was also one of the worst toxic relationships I have seen in sports, just to put it nicely.
No quarterback.
Yeah, that was very good. Your facial expression said a lot more than your words. Like,
I try.
yeah, you have to, especially with this guy over here. He just comes out of nowhere with stuff.
I'm
He's
actually on
a
my
hoot.
best
He throws
behavior tonight.
curveballs all the time.
I'm on my best behavior tonight, and we're not talking about the whack butt Diamondbacks right now, who I like, but they can't get right now either. So, but
Uh,
listen, we appreciate you coming
Thank
on
you.
with us, and we got to get a stick together soon. March
Always,
Madness,
yeah,
we're all getting together.
anytime. You only
Hey,
call me
take
when you need something. See, we got a bad relationship too. You only call me when
mm-mm.
you want something.
listen. When I want something, or at least I do it on video. I gotta go to the studio. I gotta get dressed up, cut my hair, shave right,
Oh,
look presentable.
ooh,
Just for that.
ooh, you get a mic in front of you, start showing out when company come
Just,
around.
just,
You know you're
just
not
for that,
supposed to do that. That's a cardinal
just for that,
sin in the community, bro.
I'm
You
gonna
don't
end
show
with
out when
this.
company comes.
You gonna make me really show out. Rumor has it you're still the second best defensive player in your house. Rumor has it. Now I know he's living up in Washington, but rumor has it he's better. I'm not saying anything. This is just what I've been told. I don't know.
You want to strike, you gonna hit me low and then get off. That's cold. You want to give me a chance to defend my. He's talking about my son.
I figured.
Yeah, no, my boy is all he talks to me
Uh,
like I'm like the worst player in the house. Like I've never played football a day in my life. I'm like, where do you think you get it from? Well, Dad, when y'all played and when you played back in the leather helmets.
I
oh
just know that
no.
the defensive player of the year in the state of Arizona told me, and he told me from his own mouth, I got the recording, was the best defensive player in the house. All I know is what I'm told. I'm a scoop reporter, so I just go by what I'm told.
Okay, okay. Well, I just know you're not the best basketball player in your house either.
Oh, I suck. Look, they both can kick my butt. Look,
Hey, but that's what you
Amir
want
and
when you get
marching.
to be a dad.
Look, Amir and marching band, he can still beat me. So I know I'm retired. That's why I have that shirt that says "Coach and have a whistle" because I know I'm
Yep.
done.
I'm so done. I can spot when we go to the gym. I spot. That's it.
That's it. We're a wrap. Yo, brother, seriously appreciate you and
All right. Thank you,
um,
man. I
keep
appreciate you for
Uh,
having me.
keep
thank you
March
so much for
Madness open.
joining
We're gonna
us.
all get together.
Okay, March Madness, Carolina all
Yeah,
the way, baby.
let's go.
All right, y'all take care. Thank you for having
All
me.
right, you too. Thanks, bro. Thank you.
All right,
Good
bye.
night.
Okay, bye. Good night.
All
Oh
right, Jay.
gosh, that was a
Is it,
hoot. My cheeks hurt
did you
from all
say?
the laughing.
Did you say a hoot? What
Yes.
is this? Leave it to Beaver? Listen, good job driving the ship as usual.
Thank you. But before we go, we have to give our picks for Super Bowl Sunday.
Seattle.
Seattle. Dang it.
Seattle.
I'm gonna have to not like you on Sunday.
I know you're going with New England. I know that's your team, but I got Seattle. And I'm the one person that's saying this. I have Seattle in a blowout. I don't even think it's going to be watchable. I think they're going to
My
beat the crap
brain
out of them.
says Seattle. My of course, my heart roots for the Pats.
Yeah,
So,
Seattle gonna beat them like they broke curfew.
but you know
You
what?
know
I'm
when your parents
actually a little bit more excited for to be
what's that?
somewhat honest. Halftime. Bad Bunny.
Knew it.
Uh-oh. There you are. I lost you for a second. Oh no.
Come back after the Super Bowl and we'll compare notes.
Oh yes, we will definitely do that. We'll do a post Super Bowl wrap up. Definitely.
Decompress.
Decompress. And we'll have to meet up soon too.
No doubt.
All
All
right.
right
Well,
now.
thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you, PLR, for being a part of tonight. Um, you can go ahead and follow PLR on X or Twitter at PLR on Sports. And you can follow myself, Johanna Rosalye, at J Rosalye, Rosalye, either on X, Twitter, whatever you choose to call it these days, and on Instagram. Everyone, have a good one. Until next time.